Rain hammers against the kitchen window like angry fists. I watch a plate shatter in the sink as Colton slams it down, pieces scattering across the counter. His face is red, twisted with anger that's become too familiar. "You do nothing all day, Mara. Absolutely nothing. You just live off me like some kind of parasite." His words cut through the air, sharp and deliberate. My hand grips the counter edge so hard my knuckles turn white. My breath catches in my throat, and for just a second I almost believe him. Maybe I am worthless. Maybe I don't deserve the roof over my head. The silence after he storms out feels heavier than the thunder rumbling outside. I stand there alone, staring at the broken pieces in the sink, wondering when exactly I became so small. Something inside me cracks too, but not like the plate. It's different. It's the sound of something waking up after a long, painful sleep. I don't know it yet, but this moment will change everything. My husband called me lazy for staying home. He had no idea I was already building something he'd one day beg to be part of. My name is Mara Jennings, and I'm 34 years old. I used to be different. I used to have dreams that kept me up at night in the best way possible. I graduated with a marketing degree, top of my class, with ideas that made professors stop and listen. I worked at a mid-size agency, creating campaigns that actually worked, winning awards that lined my office walls. Then I met Colton. He was charming, confident, full of big plans about starting his own real estate firm. He needed help, he said, just for a little while. He needed someone who understood business, someone who could handle the marketing while he focused on sales. I loved him, so I quit my job. I poured everything into his company, working 16-hour days, designing his website, writing his copy, managing his social media. His business grew. Mine disappeared. Then one day, he told me my help wasn't professional enough. He hired a real marketing team and suggested I take a break. That break turned into months, then years. Now he calls me lazy, ungrateful, dead weight dragging him down. But deep inside, something is stirring. It's anger mixed with something stronger. Resolve. The dinner party happens on a Saturday night. Our living room fills with laughter, wine glasses clinking, people celebrating Colton's latest sale. He stands in the center like always, soaking up attention, telling stories about his success. I'm in the kitchen, refilling chip bowls, playing the perfect supportive wife. Then I hear it. His voice carries over the conversation, loud and deliberate. "You know, Mara's career peaked when she finally learned how to reheat leftovers without burning them." Everyone laughs. The sound crashes over me like a wave. I force my face into a smile, gripping my wine glass so hard I'm surprised it doesn't shatter. My cheeks burn. My chest feels tight. I nod along like it's funny, like it doesn't slice through me. That night, after everyone leaves and Colton passes out in bed, I lock myself in the bathroom. I slide down to the cold tile floor and cry quietly, my hand pressed against my mouth to muffle the sound. But I'm not crying because of what he said. I'm crying because I finally realize he means it. He truly believes I'm nothing. That realization doesn't break me. It does something else entirely. The next morning, I pull open the bottom drawer of my old desk. It's stuffed with things I haven't touched in years, notebooks, old business cards, and printed articles. At the very bottom, I found it, my laptop from before, the one I used when I still believed in myself. I open it slowly, half expecting it to be dead. But it powers on the screen glowing in the dim room. I see my old files, my resume, my portfolio, campaign mock-ups I created just for fun. Marketing plans I never got to execute. I stare at my reflection on the screen, and for a moment I see her. The woman I used to be, confidence, sharp, capable. She's still in there somewhere, buried under years of doubt and cruel words. I created a new folder on the desktop. My fingers hover over the keyboard, then I type slowly. Project Phoenix. I don't know exactly what it means yet, but I know it's a beginning, a spark in the darkness, something that's mine and only mine. I smile for the first time in months. A real smile, not the fake ones I've worn like armor. I started small, so small that nobody notices. Every morning I wake up early, make Colton's breakfast exactly how he likes it, eggs over easy, toast with butter, coffee black. I pack his lunch. I kiss him goodbye as he leaves for work. Then I sit down at the kitchen table and open my laptop. I create profiles on freelance websites under a pseudonym, Marian Hale. It sounds professional, distant, like someone who has her life together. I bid on small projects first. Social media captions for a local bakery. Email campaigns for a startup. Logo designs and brand strategy consultations. My first few proposals get rejected. But then one comes through. A boutique clothing store needs help with their Instagram presence. They offer $200. I accept it immediately. Every night after Colton falls asleep on the couch watching sports, I work. I study algorithms. I read marketing blogs. I watch tutorials on digital strategy. I rebuild myself piece by piece in the quiet hours when nobody's watching. Nobody knows. Not even my best friend, Claire. This is my secret, my escape plan. My future is taking shape in invisible hours while the world sleeps around me. One night, Colton catches me awake. It's past midnight. I'm hunched over my laptop at the dining table, the blue light washing over my face. He shuffles out of the bedroom, half asleep, rubbing his eyes. "What are you doing, watching cooking tutorials again?" His voice is thick with sleep and mockery. I close the laptop quickly, casually, like it's nothing important. "Something like that." He laughs, that same dismissive laugh from the dinner party. "You really should find a hobby, Mara, something productive. Maybe take a class or volunteer somewhere." I nod, keeping my face neutral. "Maybe you're right." He pats my shoulder like I'm a child and shuffles back to bed. I sit there in the darkness, staring at my closed laptop and smile. He has no idea. I already have a hobby. I'm building an empire in secret. I'm becoming someone he'll never see coming. Revenge isn't always loud or dramatic. Sometimes it's quiet. Sometimes it's working through the night while your critic sleeps. Sometimes it's rebuilding yourself in silence and letting your success speak for you later. Much later, when it's too late for them to stop you. 3 weeks later, I completed my first major project. The boutique owner loves the Instagram campaign I created. Their engagement triples in 2 weeks. Sales increase by 40%. They leave me a glowing 5-star review and recommend me to 3 other businesses. My inbox starts filling up with inquiries. I feel something I haven't felt in years. Pride. Real pride. Not the second-hand kind I felt watching Colton succeed with my help. This is mine. They pay me $400. It's not much compared to what I used to make, but holding that check feels like holding pure gold. My hands shake as I endorse it. I can't deposit it in our joint account. Colton monitors that too closely, questioning every purchase, every transaction. Instead, I cash it at a different bank and hide the money inside a cookbook. The thick one with Italian recipes that Colton never touches because he thinks my cooking is average at best. I press the bills between pages about risotto and pasta, smoothing them flat. $400. It's a start. It's proof. It's a whisper that grows louder every day. Maybe I can do this. Maybe I'm not worthless after all. 2 months have passed. Colton's company hits trouble. He loses a major investor who pulls out at the last minute, spooked by market changes. He comes home furious, slamming doors, throwing his briefcase across the living room. He yells about incompetent partners, disloyal clients, bad timing, bad luck. Then his eyes land on me. I'm standing in the kitchen doorway, frozen. "This is your fault too, you know. You jinxed me, Mara. Ever since you stopped working, everything's gone wrong. You're bad luck." Dead weight dragging me down. I don't argue. I don't defend myself. I just stand there, silent, absorbing his anger like I've absorbed everything else. That night, after he finally exhausts himself and falls asleep, I open my laptop. My secret account now holds $8,000 from various freelance projects. I transfer $2,000 into a separate savings account, one he doesn't know exists, one that's only in my name. I watch the numbers change on the screen and feel power flowing back into my veins. My future is taking shape. Slowly, carefully, with every dollar I earn in secret, I'm buying back my freedom, one project at a time. 6 months into my secret work, everything changes. My client list doubles. I'm managing campaigns for 12 different businesses, juggling schedules, delivering results that exceed expectations. I can't handle it all alone anymore. I hired a virtual assistant, someone I found through a freelancing site. She's sharp, organized, eager to learn. We communicate through encrypted messages. She has no idea who I really am, where I live, or that my husband thinks I spend my days watching television. Then I take the biggest step yet. I registered with a company, Hale Creative Solutions, LLC. The paperwork arrives in the mail while Colton's at work. I hide the envelope immediately, my heart racing. It's official now. I'm a business owner, not just a freelancer hiding in the shadows, but someone with a legitimate company. And here's the beautiful irony. I'm in the same industry Colton's company operates in, marketing for real estate firms. The very thing he pushed me out of years ago. The thing he said I wasn't good enough to handle professionally. I'm coming for his world, and he has no idea. Colton's arrogance grows in proportion to his insecurity. His company continues struggling, hemorrhaging clients, missing targets. But he can't admit it's his fault. Instead, he criticizes everyone around him, his partners, his employees, and especially me. You know what your problem is, Mara? You have no motivation, no drive. You just coast through life expecting everything to be handed to you. He says this while skipping his third work meeting this week to play golf with friends. The irony is so thick I could choke on it, but I don't say anything. I just smile slightly and nod. He mistakes my silence for agreement. He thinks I'm accepting his judgment. He doesn't see the smirk I hide behind my coffee cup. He doesn't notice that I've stopped asking about his day, that I've stopped caring about his opinions, that I've stopped being present in this marriage in any real way. Meanwhile, my business gains traction. I landed a contract with a property management company worth $15,000, my biggest yet. At dinner, he complains about bills. I stay quiet, knowing I have more money saved than he realizes. The balance of power is shifting. He just can't see it yet. I stop pretending to care. It happens gradually, then all at once. I used to ask Colton about his meetings, his clients, his day. I used to offer advice he'd ignore and encouragement he'd dismiss. Now I sit across from him at dinner in complete silence. He talks at me, not to me, listing complaints and criticisms. I nod mechanically, my mind elsewhere, planning campaigns, scheduling client calls, calculating profit margins. He notices something's different. You're being weird lately. Moody. His tone is suspicious, but his ego won't let him dig deeper. He convinces himself I'm just going through a phase. Maybe hormones or whatever he doesn't bother to understand. The truth is simpler and more terrifying for him if he knew. I'm emotionally detached. I'm already gone. Just not physically yet. I'm staying in this house, sleeping in this bed, cooking these meals, but my heart and mind have checked out completely. I'm a ghost going through motions. I've stopped flinching when he raises his voice. Stopped crying when he insults me. Stopped hopping he'll change. I'm free in every way that matters. The legal paperwork is just a formality I'm preparing for. Carefully, methodically, soon. 12. The collapse came faster than I expected. Colton's company loses its biggest client to a competitor, a marketing agency with aggressive pricing, innovative campaigns, and a reputation for delivering results that traditional firms can't match. He rants for hours that night, packing the living room, phone pressed to his ear, shouting at his partners. I catch fragments of his conversation. Some woman named Marian Hale, never heard of her before. She came out of nowhere, undercut our pricing, and presented a strategy that blew ours out of the water. My heart pounds so hard I'm sure he can hear it, but I keep my face perfectly neutral, sitting on the couch with a book I'm not reading. He finally hangs up and slumps into his chair. This Hale woman is destroying us, taking our clients. She's ruthless. I nod sympathetically. That sounds terrible. He doesn't see me hide my smile behind my coffee cup. He doesn't notice the satisfaction glowing in my eyes. He has no idea that the woman destroying his business eats breakfast across from him every morning. That she's the same person he calls lazy, worthless, dead weight. The irony is so perfect it almost hurts. My company keeps growing. 6 months after launching Hale Creative Solutions, I received an acquisition offer. A national marketing firm wants to buy me out. Absorbing my client list and reputation, the offer is substantial. $250,000, enough to start fresh anywhere I want. I consider it for exactly 1 day, then I politely decline. I don't want quick money. I want control. I want to build something that's entirely mine, something that proves I was never the problem. Colton was. Instead of selling, I expand. I open regional branches, partnering with other marketers who share my vision. I invest my profits back into the business, hiring more staff, upgrading our technology, developing proprietary software that tracks campaign performance. My virtual assistant becomes my operations manager. My client base expands beyond real estate into retail, hospitality, and healthcare. My empire is being born quietly, away from the spotlight or fanfare. Just steady, relentless growth. Revenue projections show we'll hit $3 million this year. Colton's company will be lucky to break even. The scales have tipped completely. He just hasn't noticed yet, but he will, soon. I found the messages by accident. Colton leaves his phone on the kitchen counter while he showers. It buzzes. I glance at the screen and see a name I don't recognize. Jenna, the preview shows a message. You're so much easier to talk to than most people. Something cold and sharp moves through my chest. I unlock his phone. I know his password. He's never bothered changing it because he's never suspected I'd look. The messages aren't explicit. No nude photos or declarations of love, just flirtation. Compliments, inside jokes. You understand me better than she does. I wish I'd met you years ago. She doesn't appreciate what she has. They're talking about me. I scroll back through weeks of messages. Months, maybe. Nothing physical has happened yet, but the emotional betrayal is clear. He's shopping for my replacement while I'm still here. My heart doesn't break. That would require it to still be invested in this marriage. Instead, something hardens inside me. A final lock clicking shut. That night, I stopped wearing my wedding ring. I slide it off my finger and drop it in my jewelry box. Colton doesn't notice for 3 days. When he finally does, I tell him it's being resized. He believes me. I transform myself completely. It starts with a haircut. I walked into an expensive salon, the kind I used to avoid because Colton said it was wasteful. I sit in the chair and tell the stylist to do whatever she thinks looks good. She cuts 8 inches off, adds layers, dyes it slightly darker. When I look in the mirror, I barely recognize myself. I look sharper, stronger, awake. Next comes the wardrobe. I take money from my secret account and buy clothes that fit the woman I'm becoming. Tailored blazers, sleek dresses, professional but powerful. I opened another bank account completely separate. I reroute my business income directly there. I started attending business networking events under my pseudonym, Marian Hale. I wear my new clothes, my new haircut, my new confidence. People listen when I speak. They ask for my card. They respect my opinions. Mara Jennings fades into the background. She was tired, beaten down, convinced she was worthless. Marian Hale is someone completely different. She's the woman I should have been all along. At these events, I see Colton's competitors. Sometimes I see his former clients. They praise my work. They have no idea I'm married to the man whose business I'm quietly dismantling. The transformation is complete. I'm not his wife anymore. I'm his competitor. Colton's company filed for bankruptcy on Tuesday. He comes home looking like someone punched him in the stomach. His face is gray. His hands shake. He sits at the kitchen table and just stares at nothing for 20 minutes. It's over, he finally says. Everything I built, gone. I want to feel sympathy. Some small part of me tries to remember the man I married before the cruelty, before the contempt, but I can't find it. I'm sorry, I say, but the words are empty. He looks at me with something like desperation. No one supported me. My partners bylaid. My clients left. The banks wouldn't extend credit. Everyone abandoned me. I stay quiet. The irony is overwhelming. He's drowning in self-pity, complaining that nobody supported him, while sitting across from the woman who gave up her entire career to build his company. The woman who poured everything into his success and got nothing but insults in return. You'll figure something out, I say flatly. He nods, still lost in his own misery. He doesn't ask about my day, doesn't notice my new clothes or haircut, don't see that I'm different now. He's too absorbed in his own collapse. I almost pity him, almost. But pity requires caring, and I stopped caring months ago. I met with my divorce attorney on Thursday afternoon. Her office is downtown, modern and clean. She's sharp, professional, and experienced. I hand her a folder containing everything she needs. Bank statements showing my separate accounts, documentation of my business, evidence of Colton's messages with Jenna. This should be straightforward, she says, flipping through pages. No kids, separate finances, clear evidence of emotional infidelity. We discuss timelines and strategy. I want this done quickly and quietly. I don't want drama, I just want out. She'll file the papers next week. Colton will be served at home. I'll be at a business conference, safely away from his initial reaction. When I leave her office, I feel lighter than I have in years. This is real now. No more pretending. No more living in a prison disguised as a marriage. That night, Colton complains about his failed job interviews. He's been applying everywhere, desperate for anything that pays. His ego took a beating when his company failed. Now he's facing the reality that his reputation in the industry is damaged. Nobody wants to hire me, he mutters. It's like I'm blacklisted. I nod absently, checking my phone. My company just landed another major client. The universe has a sense of humor, a dark, perfect sense of humor. Colton finds a promising job posting online. I watch him hunched over his laptop, refreshing his email obsessively, waiting for responses that never come. Then his face lights up. "This could be it," he says, showing me the screen. Hale Creative Solutions is hearing. Senior marketing consultant position. Real estate experience preferred. Competitive salary. Growth opportunities. My stomach flips. He's looking at my company's job posting. The one my operations manager drafted last week. "That sounds great," I manage, keeping my voice steady. "You should apply," he nods eagerly. "The pay is actually decent, and there in my field, it's perfect." He spends the next hour polishing his resume, completely oblivious. He has no idea that Marion Hale is Mara, that Hale Creative Solutions is the company his lazy, worthless wife built while he slept. He hits submit on his application and leans back, satisfied. "I've got a good feeling about this one." I excuse myself to the bathroom and close the door. I lean against the sink, staring at my reflection, and start laughing. Quietly at first, then harder. The absurdity is too perfect. He's applying to work for me, for the woman he destroyed, the woman he's about to divorce. The universe is absolutely poetic. The interview is scheduled for Monday morning. Colton dresses carefully, wearing his best suit, practicing answers in the mirror. He's nervous but trying to hide it behind forced confidence. I watch him leave, telling him good luck, playing the supportive wife one last time. Then I drive to my office downtown. The space is sleek, modern, nothing like the cluttered home office where this all started. Glass walls, minimalist furniture, a view of the city's skyline. My operations manager greets me. "Mr. Jennings is here for his 10 o'clock. "Perfect," I say, smoothing my blazer. "I'll observe from the conference room." I position myself behind the glass partition where I can see everything but remain hidden. Colton sits in the lobby, fidgeting with his phone. He looks small, diminished, not the confident man who used to mock me. The HR manager calls him in. They settle at the interview table. Standard questions, experience, strengths. Why does he want this position? He answers smoothly, selling himself, trying to rebuild his shattered reputation. I watch in silence, my face unreadable. He has no idea I'm 10 feet away. No idea his future is in my hands. No idea that the woman he called lazy is about to decide whether he eats next month. Midway through the interview, I step out. My heels click against the polished floor. Colton is mid-sentence, explaining some project from his failed company when he notices movement behind the glass. He glances up, our eyes meet. The color drains from his face instantly. His mouth opens slightly, words dying on his lips. Mara, his voice cracks. I step into the interview room, clipboard in hand, expression perfectly neutral, professional, unreachable. "It's Ms. Hale now, actually." The HR manager glances between us, confused. "Do you two know each other?" "We've met," I say coolly. "Please continue." Colton sits frozen, staring at me like I'm a ghost. His brain is clearly short-circuiting, trying to process how his unemployed, lazy wife is standing in a corporate office, clearly in charge, clearly the person who will decide his fate. The HR manager continues asking questions, but Colton barely hears them. He stammers through responses, his confidence completely shattered. I take notes on my clipboard, my face giving nothing away. When the interview ends, I thank him for coming in. My tone is ice, professional courtesy with no warmth underneath. "We'll be in touch." He knows exactly what that means. It means no. It means rejection. It means the tables have completely turned. Colton stumbles out of the building. I watch from my office window as he stands on the sidewalk, looking lost. He sits in his car for 15 minutes without starting the engine, just sitting there, processing. I return to my desk and open his application file. His resume is decent, actually. He has real experience, real skills. Under different circumstances, he might have been a good fit, but these aren't different circumstances. These are the consequences of years of cruelty, of mockery. Making someone feel worthless. I close the file and move it to the rejection folder. My operations manager knocks softly. Should I send him the standard rejection email? "No," I say quietly. "I'll handle it personally." That evening, I drafted an email. Professional, brief, devastating. "Dear Mr. Jennings, thank you for your interest in Hale Creative Solutions. After careful consideration, we've decided to move forward with other candidates whose qualifications better match our needs. We wish you the best in your job search. Sincerely, Marion Hale, founder and CEO." I hover over the send button for a moment, then I click it. It's done. The power shift is complete. He's no longer the one deciding my worth. I am. Word spreads quickly in our industry. Colton Jennings, once a proud CEO, now bankrupt and jobless, was seen interviewing at the company that helped destroy his business. Worse, he's married to the woman who owns it. People talk. Social media buzzes. Former colleagues whisper. His humiliation is public, complete. 2 weeks after the interview, I received an email from him. The subject line is simple. "I'm sorry." I stare at it for a long time before opening. "Mara, I'm sorry. You were never lazy. You were never worthless. I didn't know who you really were. I didn't see what I had. I was cruel and blind and stupid. Please, can we talk? I want to fix this. I want to understand, please." I read it 3 times. I wait for some feeling to surface. Satisfaction, vindication, even pity. But there's nothing, just emptiness. Just the cold, clear knowledge that sorry doesn't undo years of damage. Sorry doesn't rebuild the confidence he destroyed. Sorry doesn't erase humiliation or pain. I close the email without responding. Silence is my answer. Silence is more powerful than any words I could write. He'll check his inbox obsessively for days. Weeks, maybe, waiting for a reply that will never come. That's his punishment. Not anger, not revenge, just indifference. 6 months later, Hale Creative Solutions opened its flagship headquarters. The grand opening is covered by local business news. Reporters ask about my journey. How did you build this so quickly? What's your secret? I smile, poised and confident. Sometimes people mistake stillness for weakness. They think because you're quiet, you're not working. Because you're patient, you're not planning. But the truth is, the most powerful transformations happen in silence. The crowd applauds. Cameras flash. My team stands behind me, proud. I see myself reflected in the building's glass facade. Sharp blazer, confident posture, clear eyes. This is who I was supposed to be all along. After the ceremony, my operations manager hands me a tablet showing our latest numbers. Revenue projections for next year. $8.2 million, 47 employees, clients across 5 states. I built this from nothing. From the bottom of a marriage that tried to bury me. From a kitchen table where I was called worthless. From secret midnight hours when nobody believed in me. I built this anyway, not because I wanted revenge, but because I needed to prove something to myself, that I was never the problem. The peace I feel isn't about Colton. It's about me, about reclaiming myself. I visited the old house one last time. It's on the market now, listed by another agent. The divorce settlement gave it to Colton, but he can't afford to keep it. I stand in the empty kitchen where it all started, where he slammed that plate, where he called me lazy. The echo of his voice still lingers in these walls, but it doesn't hurt anymore. I walk through each room, remembering different versions of myself. The woman who moved in full of love and hope. The woman who slowly shrank under constant criticism. The woman who cried on bathroom floors. The woman who finally woke up. They're all gone now. I'm someone completely new, someone I actually like, someone I'm proud of. I stand in the doorway, taking one last look. Then I whisper something I never thought I'd say. Thank you. Thank you for breaking me down so completely that I had no choice but to rebuild from scratch. Thank you for showing me who I didn't want to be. Thank you for being the villain in my story, because every transformation needs a catalyst. I walk away without looking back. The door closes behind me. That chapter of my life is finished. A new one has already begun. A year later, I'm reviewing annual reports in my corner office. The city sparkles below me, alive with possibility. My company exceeded every projection. Revenue hit $8.2 million. We employ 47 people across 3 states. Client retention is 92%. We're profitable, growing, respected. My phone buzzes with an email notification. New job application received. I open it absently, scanning the name. Then I freeze. Colton Jennings. He's applied again. This time for a junior consultant position. Entry level. The job college graduates apply for. His resume shows gaps, failed interviews, desperation. I stare at his name on the screen for a long moment. I could hire him. Make him work under people half his age. Make him report to me. Let him see every day what he lost. But that would mean keeping him in my life. Even as an employee, he'd be a reminder of who I used to be. And I don't need reminders anymore. I click delete. His file disappears. I close my laptop and look out the window. Somewhere out there, he's probably checking his email, hopping for a response, hopping for mercy. He'll keep hopping, but I've moved on, completely. Revenge isn't always loud. Sometimes it's success in silence. Sometimes it's building something beautiful from the ashes of something broken. Sometimes it's simply living well while those who hurt you fade into irrelevance. I smile, turning back to my work. I have an empire to run.